And then for the people that persist and last the test of time, that overcome the adversity, that continue to do the personal development work and continue to put pressure and march forward under any and all circumstances, it happens like this. It's hockey stick growth. You just take off. And so if you are in this process, if you were in this long journey and it's hard, difficult, lonely, and challenging, please, 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 please know it was like that for all of us.
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
I never looked at things as problems. I look at them as opportunities. Maybe that's something I can say. You know, someone, well, she did this, and I was, well, what an opportunity you have. Yeah, well, the world, you know, because they said this and CNN said that. Yeah, well, what an opportunity you have to make a difference, because you never know who's watching.
Most of the limitations we have do not exist in reality. They exist only in your own mind. And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist.
Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
99% of people in the world are convinced that they're incapable of achieving great things, so they aim for the mediocre. The level of competition is thus fiercest for realistic goals, paradoxically making them the most time and energy consuming. If you are insecure, guess what? The rest of the world is too. Do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You are better than you think.
The mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness. And no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going. That's what the winner does.
When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive where people are like, what the is wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it.
Do you know what the difference between winners and losers is? One of the differences, winners take the first step. Losers always have an excuse. Winners say, okay, I'm going to do it, and they do it. They take the first step. That doesn't mean they jump off a cliff. It just means they take the first step. And if you take the first step, the second step will appear, and the third step will appear. It's almost like those lights that light up as you walk along. Well, what happens is that you take the first step, every subsequent step will appear. And surprise, surprise, you'll turn around a week, a month, a year, or some years later, look back, and you'll have accomplished extraordinary things. And people say, well, you're sure lucky. You're sure lucky. It wasn't luck at all. I worked at it and worked at it and worked at it.
I think the most important thing is to become the best version of yourself, to become and achieve your fullest potential. So many people limit themselves based off of what somebody else has told them they are, based off of the limitations of their parents, their teachers, their education, the system. But you can truly become whoever you want to be. And I wanted to push this message of hope, and I wanted to push this message of, if you work hard, if you are consistent, and if you dedicate yourself to a worthy ideal, you can become.
In that normal mindset, you must be your best on your worst day. And how you do that is you cannot think of a normal mind.
The hero of your own movie.
There comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove, where being mediocre, being like average and just burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your ass. And you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work their ass off to get it.
Don't settle. Make sure that whatever life that you want, you strive for that. You make sure you go for that. Don't let anyone tell you it's not possible. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not practical. You make sure that you go for it. You hungry? You want it? Then get it. Get that. I went to a homeless shelter to get what I have now. I went to a homeless shelter. I struggled. I went hungry 3 nights in a row every week to get what I have. Don't let no one stop you. No one tell you what the do. You make sure you get it. Don't let no one stop you, all right? You're driven, your energy that you need, the drive you need to get it, you pull that from yourself. Because when you pull it from yourself, no one can influence it. Just you.
There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest worker there. And when you believe that you have the ability to do something, that the life that you're living right now is going down this direction, you hate where it is. There is nothing else to do but to change direction. A belief that I cannot go that way anymore, I gotta go this way. And what do you have to lose? You know the outcome if you continue the same shit. Why not just commit one time in your life to something? See what happens. There are no losers in the world of passion and commitment to something. No one loses there.
You are strong.
The losers are the people that sit at the starting line and never initiate. It's the belief that supremacy exists. There's so many examples in the Olympics, and every day we see the common man with the odds against them overcoming what people thought could never happen. And probably he didn't even think it. But there he stands victorious and a role model to all of us. Like, oh my God, we want to be him. But before he was him, he was us. What got him there was an undying belief. And every drop of sweat that came out, and every pain and ache and everything else was just a telltale sign that he's getting closer and closer to that dream that we were when we were kids of being a reality. Why not believe in it? What's the other option? There is no other option. It's a life forgotten, man.
I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough to do that. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we had this big old rucksack on the back. Had batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is just you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it.
But I am beyond strength.
You have to do your best work when you're the least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the up and do it.
Darkness for
You are not ready.
and only death for
I know. Like everyone else, you want to learn the way to win, but never to accept the way to lose. To accept defeat, to learn to die is to be liberated from it. So when tomorrow comes,
you are alone.
You must free your ambitious mind and learn the art of dying.
what no one else does. Run 3 o'clock in the morning because no one else is running 3 o'clock in the morning. If they're training 3 hours, you train 4 hours. You train when the gym is closed. You know, when the gym is closed and you already train, you train again. You know, you have to do what no one else is doing. You know, when they're sleeping, you're running, you're working out.
People won't want to hear this, but what you avoid controls you. If you avoid tough conversations, your relationships suffer. If you avoid risk, your business will suffer. If you avoid failure, your growth will suffer. If you think having uncomfortable conversations is hard, wait until you see the result of not having uncomfortable conversations. Much harder. At least for me, I just try and face the thing that I'm avoiding and constantly ask myself, like, what is that thing that I'm trying not to look at? And then force myself to stare at it, because usually the thing that scares you the most is the thing that you need most to face to move forward.
Champions, let success be formed. If you had to talk about the success guys, you cheapen the accomplishment altogether. The true champions are quiet. The critics of life, this parasite society, has never seen the crowd from the field of view. They've also never taken a breath of air that's mixed with anxiety and pressure. They know no victory nor defeat, because they never put themselves at risk. They never shown up. They've never walked their talk. So therefore, we tell them to go fuck themselves in their opinion. We don't care what they fucking say. All we care about is people that can perform. And those guys and girls, they don't need it.
You don't have to be the bad guy. You are the most talented, most interesting, and most extraordinary person in the universe. And you are capable of amazing things because you are the special.
You see, power, real power, doesn't come to those who are born strongest or fastest or smartest. No, it comes to those who will do anything to achieve it.
What makes one guy a champion, one person a champion, and the other one not?
It's drive. It's the will. There's certain people that grow up with a tremendous hunger, and it's usually kids that have struggled when they were kids. When you grow up comfortably and in comfort and in peace and happiness and all those things, that will produce a very balanced person and a good person. But it will not create the will and the determination and the hunger that you need to be the best in the world.
In life, if you want to win, you don't need to be the smartest. And a lot of times, you don't even need to be the best. You just need to be that f***ing guy that never gives up. And we all know that one person that no matter what you throw at them, no matter how many times you knock them down, they're going to get up and they're going to stand in glory and in honor and face their issues head on. That guy. That is the guy you need to be.
Anytime I was in the gym, I was happy. You know, whatever's going on in my life, good or bad, I go to the gym, I exercise, and that for me is, exercise is the best form of medication. I always felt happy after a workout or after training. So when I was stopped training, I was hanging around with the wrong people or whatever, you know, I wasn't as happy as I would be.
You know, people get up every day, they do the same thing, they tell themselves they're going to change their life one day, and they never do. I'm gonna change mine.
Why can't you change your thinking? Everybody else does. Do you know what everybody says? It's suicide. You've seen him, you know how strong he is. You can't win.
I win! I win! That's my job, that's what I do!
I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret.
He's heavy!
I know he's heavy.
I'm bad out of strength!
Then you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going, you hear me? You keep going, you're doing good, you keep going. Do not quit on me. You keep going.
It hurt! I know it hurt! You keep going! You keep going! It's all hard from here! 30 more steps! You keep going, Brock! Come on! Keep going!
Burn!
And let it burn!
It's burning!
It's all hard! You keep going, Brock! Come on! Come on! Keep going!
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. But you always want to outwork your potential. You know, as hard as you believe you can work harder than that.
Hey, bro, you better get ready to buckle up, because this get no easier, bro. What, you think the grind gets easier? Come on, bro, you silly, man. This grind's only for the strong ones, bro. And if you weak, I suggest you go ahead and leave. It's tough, but it's true.
I set out a goal 2 years when I came back to bring a championship to this city. I gave everything that I had. I poured my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and I don't know why we want to take the hardest road. I don't know why the man above gives me the hardest road, but it's nothing the man above don't put you in situations that you can't handle. And I just kept that same positive attitude, like, instead of saying, why me? They're saying this is what he want me to do.
It is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days.
But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you gotta have an unlimited supply of you. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm gonna be somebody. And it has to be there because on all those bad days and all those days you don't wanna do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything.
What you doing here? Don't you have practice?
Not anymore, I quit.
Oh. Well, since when are you the quitting kind?
I don't know, I just don't see the point anymore.
So you didn't make the dress list. There are greater tragedies in the world.
I wanted to run out of that tunnel for my dad. To prove to everyone that I worked.
What?
That I was somebody.
Oh, you are so full of crap. You're 5 feet nothing, 100 and nothing, and you got hardly a speck of athletic ability. And you hung in with the best college football team in the land for 2 years. And you're also gonna walk out of here with a degree from the University of Notre Dame. In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen.
Seneca famously said that the mind focused on future events is miserable. I see so many people focusing on the things that they cannot control. They want to make $1 million, but obviously you can't dictate the specific day that you're going to become a millionaire. They want to develop a better physique, but you can't specifically dictate the day where you'll be proud of the body that you have if you're overweight or if you're too skinny. You need to understand that you can't be focused on the future. What you need to be focused is on the present moment. What you can control today, the habits that you input today, the amount of work ethic and good attitude that you portray today, these are the things that matter. The Stoics used to speak about these things because it is so easy to either reminisce in the past or to be conjuring imaginary scenarios of the future, oftentimes negative, that lead a present moment of stress and a state of being miserable. So if you want to be in a life that is full of equanimity. Equanimity means the calmness of the soul, and a life that is full of peace. You need to be here now, focusing on what you can control. If you want to make more money, perfect, clock in. If you want to become more financially literate, you're gonna have to pick up the books and get educated. If you want a better physique, you're gonna have to eat healthier food, and you're gonna have to exercise. Not focused on the future, but focused on what you can do today. And by natural law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The universe will give you exactly what you deserve. Don't live a life of misery by living in the past or living in the future, but live a life of peace and equanimity by being here, right now.
My name is Kobe Bryant, 17 years old. I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go to my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
you want to be part of that 1%, which I know all of you want to be, I'm sorry to say, you got to throw that balance shit in the wind. The only way you can do it is if you go all the way in and talk to your family and say, I'll be home, but not today.
But it's you. The major key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you.
I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like, and this is why most people can't do it, but you can.
Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. It takes that misunderstanding of people, and they'll never get it because they never gave it God. So that is what it takes for me to do what I do. It may take you something different. So for me, everything has to be in the study. Everything has to be into this. Everything has to be everywhere I am. It has to be there. Me, focused where I am.
You have to take the time and decide what you want. And most people don't take the time to even do that, to define the goal and to determine whether or not the thing that you want even is a goal. Decide what you want.
It isn't a quick path, and there are no shortcuts. Meditation won't get you there, and neither will a miracle drug or an organic supplement or some superfood. Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make.
When you in your grinding stage, like that hunger is different. It's about if you can maintain it or not. Like that hunger that you get is like a different type of like, I don't know what it is. Like all I wanted to do was just work. So once you get that in you, like it's just like you can't stop.
People struggle a lot with the concept that something can be both painful and empowering. This hurts, therefore it's bad. Taking full accountability for your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first two steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that. And I think that marrying short-term pain with long-term progress is one of the first connections that most people who are on that path have to make.
How does that translate? My mind doesn't think I can do it. I'm severely underestimating my strength that I can't pick this can up. But when I get to the gym, I need to overpower my mind and just do it. I need to understand that I still have the muscle, I still have the strength. I'm just being this lazy little bitch right now. And I need to pick up that weight and do it and overpower it. And sometimes when you're getting in there and you're overthinking and all these things come in too much, it's like, I have to do this, and this, I have to do 4-7 negative. Oh my God, that's going to be so hard. I should drop the weight then. Like, no, just fucking get in there, know what you can do, bust your ass and get out of there. Yeah. And sometimes overthinking it holds you back.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
It is what it is, man. Be you unapologetically, and as you are correcting or fixing or evolving in you, understand that you got a dope thing to look back at, and that's the old you versus the new attempt in who you are trying to be.
Realize that opportunity comes to them, but they have to work for it. They can't just expect it to come to them. You've got to work for it. When you're working hard at something, what luck is, people say, yeah, you were lucky. But luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step, so if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that.
If you love something, if you have a strong passion for something, you would go to the extreme to try to understand or try to get it.
Sometimes we don't have food to eat one day and we just drink water.
Just drink water?
Just drink water.
Did you really sleep in a cardboard box and on pavement at times outside when you were growing up?
Yes, outside the street, I sleep in the carton, the carton, the box. I'm so thankful to God that I had experienced that life, before I get this life.
Champion of the world, money. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much.
It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood. The day you accept full responsibility.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him, and that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
Why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
Let me teach you the real life, how it really is. The reason why you're a loser, and the reason why you're not making it, and the reason why you're trying to go to all these, I go to all these conventions, speak all the time. I look in the audience and these people sign up, and every year go to convention, thinking they're gonna learn something different. No, you're lazy, you know exactly what to do, Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and say, God, man, I'm not smart. So guess what I gotta do? I gotta study the same shit that I got one of the highest scores in the nation on, and do it again.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't mess around, I don't party, I don't go out. Am I lame for that? Absolutely. And to be lame in the eyes of somebody I would never want to be like is nothing but an absolute success in my eyes. You see, it's only an uncertain person that needs company in what they do to feel like it's the right thing. But real confidence stems from doing what's best for you, even if that means doing it alone. My confidence comes from consistently pushing myself and leaving no gap between what needs to be done and what I do. And look who's out here with me. Nobody. And that's just fine.
Hard work brings great rewards. This is a reminder of the hard work and dedication that I put into everything that I've done. I'm not content because I know where I came from and I don't ever want to go back.
Hey, look, let me guess. New year, new you, right? New year, new you. You've been saying that every year, but it's always new year, same you. You know, I just don't understand why you go every year remaining the same when the person that you are today has just been destroying your life. You're mentally killing yourself every year and you don't even realize it. I mean, it's time for you to look yourself in the mirror and make some change before it's too late. But if you cool with being like that, it is what it is. It's your life. Be safe, though.
This is my life, man. Do you know how hard I worked to get here? I built this shit. Me, brick by brick.
In the end, I don't care whether you love me or you hate me, just as long as I win.
When you're built different than everybody else and you have this desire for more and this desire for achievement and this desire to win, everybody else looks at you like,
You see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning and there's not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger.
Stop waiting for life to be easy. Stop hoping for somebody to save you.
Where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? You look at your life, you look at what you produced. Is it giving you what you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you living your dream? Are you acting on your ideas? Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable?
Work your ass off. There is no magic pill. There is no magic out there. You cannot get around. You have to work and work and work.
This and that. There's no hack, bro. There is no life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it? Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack.
I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that.
Right.
So after the games, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in, and I wanted you to know that it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
God, I know every mother ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. That's how you level up.
When nobody's looking, that's the time that really counts. That's the time that really matters. The working out at 5, 6 a.m. and then all the practices and all the extra conditioning, like that work that you do every single day is key, because that's what you're gonna be able to fall back on. And that's what you're gonna be able to like rely on when push comes to shove.
A warrior's not always that. A warrior's a motherfucker who says, hey, I'm here again today. I'm here again tomorrow. I'm gonna be here the next day. I'm 50 years old, I'm still getting after it. It's a person that puts no limit on what's possible.
There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest worker there. And when you believe that you have the ability to do something, that the life that you're living right now is going down this direction, you can hate where it is. There is nothing else to do but to change direction. A belief that I cannot go that way anymore, I gotta go this way. And what do you have to lose? You know the outcome if you continue the same shit. Why not just commit one time in your life to something? See what happens. There are no losers in the world of passion and commitment to something. No one loses there. The losers are the people that sit the starting line and never initiate. It's the belief that supremacy exists. There's so many examples in the Olympics, and every day we see the common man with the odds against them, overcoming what people thought could never happen. And probably he didn't even think it. But there he stands victorious and a role model to all of us. Like, oh my God, we want to be him. But before he was him, he was us. What got him there was an undying belief. And every drop of sweat that came out, and every pain and ache and everything else was just a telltale sign that he's getting closer and closer to that dream that we were when we were kids of being a reality. Why not believe in it? What's the other option? There is no other option. It's a life forgotten, man.
It's up to you. The ball's in your fucking court. No more fucking around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't fucking help you. Only you can fucking help you. Grab your fucking balls, get a fucking notebook, and write down what the fuck you're gonna do this year. And this is it. You're not gonna have these problems. Fuck the drugs. Fuck the cigarettes. Fuck that dumb bitch. It all starts fucking today, all right? No more fucking excuses.
You won't leave a legacy behind. You can die tomorrow. No one's gonna know who the fuck you are, and more importantly, no one's gonna give a fuck. They're gonna be at your funeral silent as shit because you haven't done nothing in your fucking life. That's the truth. A lot of you niggas, if you died tomorrow, no one would give a fuck. That's the truth. No one would give a fuck. They'd be at your fucking day, at your eulogy. They wouldn't be able to say anything about you because you haven't done shit. That's the truth. I could die tomorrow and I know people are gonna mourn my death. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me too, but I know I changed people's lives and I've helped them live longer. I could die tomorrow and be happy. I could die tomorrow and be happy. Can you die tomorrow and be happy? You probably can't. You need to have these serious fucking discussions with yourself. You need to look yourself in the mirror. Is anybody gonna give a fuck if I die?
The question of when you're running, you run for hours.
Days.
What days?
Michael Jordan tells me one day he wants to be the best player that's ever played here. And I said, well, you got to work harder than you did in high school. He said, I worked as hard as everybody else. I said, oh, excuse me. I thought you just told me you want to be the best player to ever play here. He said, I'm going to show you. Nobody will ever work as hard as I work.
God, I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up.
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true.
I give you the map. You are willing to do that? It's the main point, because everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do that? It's difficult. It's the discipline. The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in the sports, but in life.
Like I see a lot of players
take vacations with other players that are close friends. And we'll just take vacations just to take vacations, or just hang out just to hang out. Like I never did that. But
Why not though? Why didn't you do that?
Well, because when I retire, I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. I don't want that.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
You got to tell yourself, despite the circumstances, the situation, I'm not going anywhere until I get to go. Until I make my dreams become a reality, I'm not quitting. I don't care how much money I have to invest. I don't care how much time I have to invest. I'm going to continue to do this until I become successful.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And that bill from regret is generational.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do. And that's life. The only thing I'm asking you guys to leave on the table is what's right.
If you make a choice and say, come hell or high water, I'm going to be this, then you should not be surprised when you are that.
Man, I gave my soul to this game. There's nothing more I can give. Nothing. But I'm telling you, it goes by fast. And if you don't give it your all, you're going to regret it. When we say this cannot be accomplished, this cannot be done, then we are shortchanging ourselves. Being a winner is a curse.